Hey, what's up everybody? Zeba Tango here with another video this week. We're going to cover mid-level gear. So first off, let's start with the spinning gear that I recommend that everybody should be getting. It's the Super Duty S88XH, the Saber 60s, a 15 kilo line. I prefer to buy this one because it's nice and cheap. I know it's braided, but shouldn't be using it too long, and it's really cheap to replace, and this reel isn't too bad to repair. On Corey, I recommend a 13.8 kiloliter for the most bites, and as usual, the 1001 Hunter lure. This is a pretty basic setup. I recommend you get 2 or 3 of these, and that's for trolling. And you can shore fish with this as it has 207 meters of line. Now, if you don't want to do the spinning at Corey, you can go with the Palmers, and you can settle for the Adriatica. And what this setup is good for is, example, Old Berg or Winding Rivulet. If you're gonna do Old Berg, I recommend that you do crucian and gibble during the day, maybe roach, and then at nighttime switch over and do the bream. And if you do Winding Rivulet, same setup pretty much. And you're mostly just gonna do bream day and night. Now, the Palmer is a pretty cheap rod. Eventually, once you have 3 of these, you'll be able to efficiently do bream pretty quickly. And you can do that on Winding Rivulet, Volkov. You can do Oldberg. But I mean, I recommend always to just go troll on Corey with the Super Duty S88XH. You can use the linear if you want. Show you that real quick in the store. The linear rod is a spinning rod, so let's click spinning. We're gonna come down to linear. This is the linear. I believe it was the 88XH. This is it. This one is a 15.5 kilo, which is perfect. You can put the 15 kilo braid on there. You can put the Saber on there. You can put the Adriatica on there. It's up to you, whatever your budget is. And this will pretty much bring out any fish from Corey. Now, it's going to be a little bit trouble using this on Volkov. That's why I recommend the Super Duty. The Super Duty is only about 400 more silver, and you can use that. I still use one, and I'm level 35, so it's a pretty good rod, and it will last you a long time. You just upgrade the reel as you go. Now, once you have gotten your 3 spinning setups, I do recommend that you get the Narga. And that's the 8K, Narga 8K. Don't buy the 6 or 4. The spools are too small. Buy the 8K. It's $21.89. And you can buy that at Volkov. I believe at Volkov and Ladoga. I'm at Tuba right now. But yeah, this one is much better than the Alpha. Let me show you the Alpha. The Alpha 8K is a little bit cheaper, $19.90, but it costs more to repair. It wears faster, and it's just, I feel like it's not as strong as the new reel, the Narga. I feel like the Alpha had some changes done to it, and it's just not the same as it used to be. So I believe that the Narga 8K is going to be a better reel for you. It's also cheaper to repair, and it doesn't wear as fast. And it's only 200, about 200 more silver. So I suggest you save for this and buy it at, I want to say you can't, I'm not sure, I'd have to check, but I don't think you can buy it at Volkov, to be honest. I think you have to wait until you unlock Ladoga to buy this, and it's $21.89. But I mean, it's well worth the wait, and you should just be using the Saber 60s until, I mean, you could use Gold 80s, to be honest, but I recommend the Saber 60s because this will get pretty much any fish at Corey and without ease. And then the line I recommend is the braided, and it's just this one right here. Scroll down, 68.80, so that's not bad, right? And then the lure. Now the lure is going to be kind of hard to get. It's probably easier to ask somebody to buy it for you, or just trade for it. If you come into my channel, I give away moles constantly, and I am more than positive that 10 moles is well worth more than 59.60. and I give away mole crickets pretty much every stream. I give away anywhere from 80 to 100 mole crickets a stream. So I'll leave the link in the description below for my Twitch channel. You can catch me Monday through Fridays. Sometimes I do weekend streams. Schedules below in the stream. Now, if you want to use bottom fishing, I suggest for lower levels that you just get the feeder rod, and you can get the Palmer feeder FD150. It's 263, not a bad rod. And then the feeder you're gonna want on there is the classic, and you come over to the mesh, and I suggest you just get a 30 gram to start off with. You get 3 of those, so 2940 times 3, not too bad. You don't necessarily need ground bait, but if you want to use ground bait, you can. For Old Berg, I would just use the standard crucian gibble mix, and it's just ground crackers, millet porridge, and sunflower. Doesn't require that much to make. Sunflower, I believe that's, I want to say 20% ground bait making. Not too hard to achieve. If you don't know how to level ground bait, you just go to ground bait right here, and you just put in under mixture 1. You just put in a basic component, and then hit make, and you just keep spamming it. You don't need the additives or attractive, just the base one to power level your ground bait. Premium does help if you have happy hour. Now, with the Palmers, you're gonna have a light line. I use 10.5 because you're gonna be fishing crucian, gibbles, bream, roach, eyed. You know, small fish that don't really get over 6-7 kilos. If you're really lucky, they might get 7 kilos. And congrats on your blue rare if you do get 7 kilo of those. And so I just use 10.5. You don't have to use this one to be exact, but I mean, it's pretty cheap. You can use braid, which is a cheaper line, but it wears your reel faster. Now, the reel that I recommend on the Palmer, you don't have to get the Protons. The Adriatica is good enough, which is this reel here. Let me show you that in the market. Adriatica should be, here it is. The Adriatica 5K, 7.5K reel. It's only $345.80. Pretty cheap reel. Now, you don't know. I see. This is where people. I would probably only get 2 of these, to be honest, and then maybe upgrade a 3rd one later when you have a little bit more money. Because I really highly suggest that you go spinning on Corey and just troll Corey. You're gonna make more money. Even if Corey's dead, you should still make more money using the Hunter 1001. Now, some people don't get this reel. I've seen people get the Sputnik. I'm not sure about this reel. I've never actually used it myself. The difference is it's a 4K spool. And this one is a 5K. But here's the difference. You see the stars? This represents the quality. That means this one's going to wear faster than the Sputnik. Now, I'm not sure from personal experience. I've never used it. But people say this reel is better just because it wears less and you'll be able to use it more. But then I reply to them, well, I'm just fishing small fish with the Adriatica. You're not doing carps. Well, you're not doing big carps like grass carp, common carp, leather mirror. You're just doing crucian, gibble carps, roach, bream, eyed. You know, the smaller fish. So the wear shouldn't matter too much on this. So I recommend this one over the other one because this one's only 35 or 34.50. I'm sorry, 345. And this one is 415. So that's quite a bit of difference. And for the wear cost, I don't think this one lives up to the 3 stars. The spool size is smaller again. So I would just get the Adriatica. It's just a better reel in my opinion. Some people do get the Protons. You don't necessarily need the Proton. It's a much more expensive reel. It's only 1 kilo more, and it's only 1,000 larger spool size. If you want to get the Proton, get the Proton Pro 6K. This is a really good reel to troll on Corey. Good starter reel to troll on Corey, but it's 1,090 silver for each one. Now, The reason I say get the Saber 60s is because the wear is better and it's cheaper, and it's only a 6K reel as opposed to, yeah, so there's the same size reel size, but I feel like the protons don't have the power the sabers do, and these wear faster. So I mean, that's really up to you. It really is. It's entirely up to you. The only thing different between the Proton Pro and the Saber is the Proton Pro has a half-star more rating, so supposedly it wears less, but I find that mine wears actually more. And I'm using the same line, same setup, same fish, and I get more wear on the Proton Pro 6K than I do on the Gold 80s, or I'm sorry, the Saber 60s. So I just, I recommend the Saber 60s. It's up to you guys. You can test them both if you'd like. But from experience, the Saber 60s have been a better reel to, like, just better overall for the smaller fish. And to me, it feels like the reel in speed is faster. So I mean, there's plus and minuses to each reel, and I think that this one's more cost efficient for lower levels to get. Just skip the alpha. They completely revamped and screwed up the alpha in my opinion. So just skip that. Go straight to your Narga 8Ks, which is 14.5 kg reel, and you'll easily be able to do bear with this. And the reason I say bear is because when you get 3 of these, you can sit at bear and farm bear efficiently and make yourself a decent amount of silver, as well a lot of XP. XP is pretty important because you wanna rush yourself up to Tuba, which is the map I'm currently at. And Octuba, the reason I said to come to Octuba is because there's just a large variety of fish. The XP is better, the cafe orders are better, and it's not that hard to fish here. You can do sturgeon at a low level and make quite a bit of money. You can also do whitefish if you manage to get yourself some bleak. I know bleak recently got nerfed, but the adjustment to bleak, I have mixed thoughts on that. We're not going to go too much in detail on that, but if you do get bleak and you can use bait fish by the time you get to tuba, it's a really good money making method. But I mean, all in all, so you're pretty much gonna need a sinker for bottom rig for any body of water, and I recommend just getting the 30-gram sinkers. They're $1.50, so you just need like 3 or 4 of those in case you get snagged and break off. Now, as for baits on Old Berg, you're gonna be using red worm, worm. You're gonna be using. I really hate the way the new drop down menu. So you're gonna be using worm, red worm, bloodworm, maggot, casters, barkbeak larva, mayfly larva. You can use the caddisfish. Diced cheese is pretty good if you can get yourself the Cory and buy some cheese blocks and you have the knife. You can get diced potatoes at Winding Rivulet. You just buy potatoes from the farmer's market. Pretty cheap to buy there. Cabbage leaf is... cabbage leaf is risky at low levels. I wouldn't use that. I really wouldn't use potatoes until you have at least the Saber 60s or Beluga Narga AK. Pearl barley is really, really good. You buy that from the grocery store, buy a little bag, and you just craft it yourself. I think it requires 15% into ground harvesting baits. Not too bad. Wet bread is actually really good at low level. Winding Rivulet, Oldberg, wet bread is a really good bait. Now you won't be able to get sweet dough or any of these other baits until you're a bit higher. Semolini is actually a lower skill requirement, so you could try to power level your bait harvesting and grab that. Another good bait to use. And the rest of the baits aren't really going to be useful to you at low levels. Maybe fly, but flies are pretty expensive. I don't recommend those to people at low level. And as for bullies, if you really want to use bullies, the only bullies I'm going to be recommending to people is the Hot Cherry 16. That's for crucians and gibble carps. They're pretty fairly cheap. You get 25 per stack, so $9.90 per 25. Not too bad. Really good low level bully. I think that pretty much covers the low level bullies. Let me see. There should be. Yeah, I think that's gonna cover it. Smart bully. Well, you could use Spice Mix 12 as well, or 16. This is good for Ide on Mosquito and Winding Rivulet, as well as Old Berg, but more so Winding Rivulet and Mosquito. So you can get 25 for 1040. I wouldn't get the 12s. I would get the 16, and those are 1040 per 25. So it's not too bad. But yeah, that pretty much covers the baits you're gonna be using. Now, if you want to float fish for some reason, maybe for the boosted XP, you can just get yourself a normal telestick 16. It's a 4.5 kilo. Now for the line on here, since it's 4.5, you're just gonna throw in like a 3.9. You're just gonna need a regular, probably you could just use the feather float, to be honest. It's pretty cheap. It's really hard to see though, but I mean it's pretty cheap and easy to get. As far as a leader, not sure if I have one. Let me see. You can use a 3.2 fluorocarbon leader with that 3.9 line. As long as you stay under the load capacity with the line in the leader, which is 4.5, you won't ever break your rod. So that's good to know. Now, for the hook size, you don't necessarily need to buy the Rage series, but anywhere from 12 to 22, depending on what you're fishing for. 22 is probably going to get you more bite rates. It's going to get you smaller fish, but that doesn't matter. You just want money and fast XP at low levels. And then the baits, we already gone over the baits. This is pretty cheap telestick, but I recommend that you just use bottom fishing until you have enough for your Saber 60. Once you have your Saber 60 and Super Duty S88XH, you can go efficiently farm at Corey and just do spinning. Now let me show you the Super Duty S88XH. This is a 31 kilo rod. This will get you pretty much every fish on even Volkov. It'll get you the big 20 plus kilo Corey charge as well, and it's gonna last you a long time. It takes a while for this rod to wear down, so ideally the setup you want is right here, the Saber 60 black braided line, 15 kilos, and then a 13.8 liter. That's for Corey. Now if you're gonna do Volkov with this, I recommend you use maybe a 22 kilo line, maybe 20 to 22 kilo line, and then you're gonna bump this up to a 17.4 fluoro liter. And the now if you want to use at Volkov, the lure I recommend you grabbing is, find the Snatcher 003, this one here. But there is a certain, if you want to be extremely efficient and get asp, you can get you see the hooks. Let me show you without it being on the rod. So there's a certain hook type you can use on these. So if you want to be very efficient and get more asp, I suggest that you buy the Berserk hook metric treble S4. Get 2 of those, put them on the front, and then you get the Berserk hooks metric treble S4, and that's the one with the little I don't know what to call that, the little thing, whatever, the tail. And this is going to get you more asp. Now people argue, oh, it doesn't do anything, it's just how it looks. No, it's not true. It attracts the fish more. So I recommend you get something like this and use this on Volkov. It's pretty good. And asp are really good money, salmon are good money, Xanders are really good money, and you get all 3 of those with this. So it's up to you what you want to do, but those are my recommendations for mid-level. And eventually you're going to work yourself up to the carp rods, the Fortuna carp rod 360 XH. And like I said, you're going to want the Beluga Narga. And once you have that, you can start doing bear and start saving for your Targeras. Now the other what I did was I saved up and bought a Venga, and then I traded a Venga for 2 Targeras, which is a really good deal because you save about 2,000 to 2,500 silver on the trade, because these Targeras are, I think they're like 15k a pop. So 15 is 30, and so you save, yeah, you save almost almost actually. You save almost 4,500 silver actually. So I mean, it's up to you. Most people don't have the patience to do that, so they just buy Targaryens outright. Like I said, it's all up to you. It's a really long grind, and I recommend you just tough it out and wait. If you want to do a trade, feel free to stop by the Twitch channel. I'll leave the link in the description below, and just ask me to middleman. And what that means is you send me your item you want to trade, the other person that you're trading with sends me the item that you want, and then I okay it with both parties, and then I send each party their item, and it's a safe trade. So that's up to you guys. That's one way to trade. And if you don't know, you can join the RF4 Discord and or my Discord. I'll leave the link for those in the description below. And there's trade channels. Just post your trade, say you're interested in trading, and I'm sure somebody will get back to you on your trade. I hope this video was helpful for everybody, and if it was, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in next week's video. Thanks for watching, and you guys have a great week.